Okay, so whenever I'm setting about gardening, I'm always considering the forest. And the forest not as, big trees, or the forest not as, this definite thing of this is what a forest is, but forest as a concept. And more particularly the concept of different layers: canopy, mid-story, understory, ground cover. And so we can look at a garden in exactly the same way, right? What is it about the forest? What it is it's actually very chunky, right? It's all the space, vertical space in time, horizontal space is all being filled up. And so here we have a perfect example, right? This massive green in color will help us achieve a multitude of different things. Not only we're using space very effectively, because most everything here has got some kind of product or yield for our system, we're also helping to hide things from pests, right? So just as difficult as it might be for the untrained eye to see what's in here, it's also just as difficult for a pest species. Like right here we have parsley hiding here, right, which is an edible, a very highly valuable edible herb, one of the best nutrition sources we can have, and it's quite easy to grow. Marigolds, not only do they bring beneficial insects in, they also repel undesirable insects. Here we have cosmos. This helps to bring a lot of beneficial insects in, pollinators and predators. I can hear one buzzing around there. There's a bee right there. There, he's doing the job, or she's doing the job of pollination for us. But you can also eat the nasturtium, which is a highly rich source of vitamin C. You can eat the leaf of the nasturtium, right? And it's a vining pattern. It'll ramble along and it'll fill space in for us so weeds don't get a chance to. The other benefit of all of this, and you can see the pea is climbing up the cosmo, is that we can chop this, and we have an on-hand source of mulch for our tomato plants, which are right here, right? In amongst the tomatoes we have basil. So when we're making our pasta sauce, we can collect the tomato and the basil at the same time. If we come further along the garden, these are some weeds that we pulled out from somewhere else, and we just put them in the pathway and we tramp them down, and they'll slowly compost. At the end of the season, we can put that onto the garden bed. Here we have some kale, right? And the thing is that all of the different shapes and different colors and this massive green is helping to protect and hide our plants from predators, as well as fill that space in. All right, come along. There's more parsley. There's eggplant here. There's daikon there. So we have ground cover, canopy, mid-story stuff. This stuff here, another rambler. This is called New Zealand spinach, or warrigal greens. It's another delicious edible green. We got cabbage. We have another very easy to grow flower called a zinnia, which brings in beneficial predatory insects, as well as adds some color. Here's another salad green. Right here, this is called salad burdette. Right. All of this stuff that we see here, this stuff is woolly podvetch, which is a legume, a very special family of plants called the nitrogen. They all fix nitrogen, and when we cut this and we throw it down as mulch, not only does it feed like a manure from the top down, we've also left the roots in there, and that's where the nitrogen is fixed. So those roots will now rot and feed the soil directly. Right? There's just as much underground as there is above. And the whole point of all of this is to build organic matter into our system, because it's in the organic matter that we build healthy soil cycles. And in our chopping, I've uncovered yet another green. Here, this is called variegated cress, right? I can come out to this garden any day of the week with a bowl and pick a very delicious salad with a dozen or more different types of food in it. Right? What more could you ask for than that, really? The diversity of living, freshly picked, raw, organic food, right? That's what it's all about, right? I mean, here there's yields all around. Here we have a spider living in the leaf of this tomato, right? That's a predatory plant. It's a predatory insect, sorry. And it's these structures that help let this garden act and function like a mini forest, right? There's peppers here, right? This is buckwheat, right? Which we could harvest the seeds if we wanted to, but what we'll do is we'll let them fall into the garden and they'll grow. You just rub them off and they'll fall in there. They'll grow back next year and continue. They're a very beneficial insect attractor. Also too, they're very good at building soils and they build a lot of mulch very quickly into the system. Right? Everywhere we look, there's food here. Some more basil. It's just loaded. Some more of the salad burdette. The whole thing is this living, breathing organism that's kind of taking care of itself, and all I'm doing is coming along with my knife and just tickling a little bit. I'm involved in the evolution of this system, but I step back every now and then and let it do what it's going to do.